A brand new tank engine was racing across the island of Sodor. He was very excited, and he didn't want to be late. Right on time.
Oh yeah, and we know how much Top Hat likes things to be on time. But more importantly, look at the size of this tanker. He makes Thomas look like Edward is to Gordon by comparison. This tank engine's on steroids or something. Nah, but I'm sure he does train though. Okay, I'm done. The new engine's name was Arthur, and he was hired for a very specific reason.
He's here to shunt freight cars and pull freight. Nice to meet you, puffed Arthur politely. And he's got a spotless record, said Sir Topham Hatt. What's a spotless record? Whispered Percy. It means he's never been naughty or made a mess, replied Thomas.
Ah, so no wonder why he was in a rush earlier in the first clip. Seeing this guy barreling down the line makes him look like a force to be reckoned with. Having a spotless record is hard to maintain, though. No one is perfect. And somehow I think coming to Sodor is going to test Arthur's status on that. Being that we are now 7 seasons in and have seen just how many things can get out of control.
He'd never been naughty before. Arthur's first job was to push a trainload of fruit to market. The troublesome truck started to sing.
Root toot toe, we wanna go. The fruit's going off 'cause you're too slow.
How rude, huffed Arthur.
Oh, Arthur, you have so much to learn. And what's this about never being a bad engine? What railway did this guy come from? Unfortunately, Thomas conjured up a trick to play on Arthur, which I don't know why. He told him that it was important to keep the trucks from singing. Does he not care about Arthur's record? The more important thing is to focus on where you're going.
Arthur chuffed cheerfully through the countryside. Soon the troublesome truck started singing again.
Chug, chug, chuff. You tug and huff, but you're so rusty you can't even puff.
Stop singing, huffed Arthur. Trucks should do as they are told.
That is true, but I don't see you quieting them anytime soon, Arthur. Especially when you're the newbie on the island. But in fact, with Arthur telling them what to do, they became annoyed and decided to play their own trick on him. Right after they crossed the peak of Gordon's Hill. Just great. Pretty sure this will be the spot that goes on Arthur's spotless record.
You can't catch us!
Laughed the troublesome trucks.
Whee!
But there was trouble ahead. Duck had stopped at the crossing at the bottom of the hill. Arthur's driver applied the brakes, but it was too late.
Yeah, as expected. Hey, wasn't there a Mr. Jolly's chocolate factory at the end of Gordon's Hill back in Season 6? I guess with Percy blowing that to smithereens, they just decided to put a level crossing in place of it. Which happened to have a suspicious lorry going by. Anyway, how about we do this? Not put anything at the end of Gordon's Hill, because nobody seems to be able to stop in time.
Oh, Arthur, what a mess, puffed Thomas. Sir Topham Hatt was very annoyed. What happened here? The troublesome trucks were singing. I told them to stop, but they made me go too fast. Please, sir, it's my fault. Thomas told Sir Topham Hatt what he had done.
Good. An own-up was needed for this moment. It's a friggin' shame Thomas did that to Arthur. It's one thing if Arthur created his own issue, but this was just careless on his end. And surprisingly, Top Hat wasn't really mad with him. His only quote-unquote punishment was to help clear up the mess. So it's a slap on the buffers and that's it? Oh, you are lucky, Thomas.
Harvey arrived with the breakdown crane. He could see there was a lot of work to be done. Everyone worked hard, and Thomas took the loaded trucks away.
It's the very least he could do. I do find it rather redundant and funny, though, about Harvey. A crane engine pulling a breakdown crane. I mean, could we have any more cranes in one shot? I just want to know how Arthur's feeling since he's the one with the broken record now. If I were him, I'd be pretty annoyed with old cheeky buffers.
Hello, Thomas. Arthur, I'm sorry I played a trick on you, said Thomas. Thanks for owning up to it, replied Arthur. Maybe spotless records are made to be broken, smiled Thomas. And then mended again, finished Arthur, just like friendships.
Thomas, you are so lucky right now. Arthur very well could have resented you for the rest of your steam-driven life. Yet this story brings up good life lessons to understand. For one, having a spotless record is impressive, but nobody's perfect. If it wasn't Thomas setting up Arthur, Arthur would have made his own mistakes somewhere along the line. It's inevitable. The other being that taking responsibility for one's actions is also the right thing to do. Another key note to remember is that while this story had a peaceful ending, sometimes it doesn't end that way. Look at Pop Goes the Diesel from Season 2. Duck didn't play a trick on Diesel, but Diesel wasn't okay with Duck's actions either, even though he apologized. As for Arthur, he is a one-of-a-kind tank engine. I mean, literally, he's built like a tank. He's Thomas if Thomas hit the gym. And what's cool about Arthur is not only his look, but his demeanor. He very well could have been either hidey-tidy or super boastful about having a spotless record. Instead, though, he was none of that. He was friendly and wasn't afraid to do his work, even if it wasn't glitz and glam. And we've had one fruit accident in Percy, James, and the Fruitful Day of Season 3. And now this one. Do I sense a third accident somewhere in the future? We'll see. Music-wise was generally nice to listen to. The music played for Arthur had a tune, but it wasn't super catchy. Visuals were okay too. There were plenty of sights to see, like Marin Station when Arthur arrives, Tidmouth Tunnel, the windmill, Gordon's Hill, and the sunset background at Tidmouth Sheds. Next episode is Toby's Windmill. Thanks for watching.